Hello again. I hope that you and your family are healthy and safe. It has been some weeks since I have given you an update on the parish. There is much to report. As you can see, I am standing in front of the crypt of our parish's new columbarium at Holy Root Cemetery. It is truly holy ground. It was made even more sacred a few days ago when we had our first parish-wide Sunday Mass. The Mass had special improvisational moments when 7 boys and girls received their first Eucharist. Like all children, these students are learning to improvise. Certainly, the students, parents, and teachers at Holy Trinity School, led by our principal, Kevin McShane, have improvised about ways to learn and to teach through social media. This week, Holy Trinity School began to return to on-campus classes with a staggered schedule and hybrid teaching formats. What a joy it has been to experience the glee of children again on our campus. The other day, I saw several of them improvise a socially distanced game of tag, whereby one child need only to get within 6 feet of another and then shout, "You're it!" Amidst the restrictions of the pandemic, it seems that the Holy Spirit is calling each of us in our own way to improvise. Allow me to review how some of my colleagues and many of our parishioners are improvising. Our liturgical leaders, David Pennington, Kathy DeJardin, and a host of volunteers have improvised by means of morning and evening prayer. On average, 35 viewers participate. In addition, since the COVID-19 restricted the availability of daily liturgies, my fellow Jesuits, several parishioners, and myself have offered daily homilies, with an average of 400 people tuning into these daily homilies. Concerning Sunday Masses, as you know, for several months we taped Sunday liturgies from our chapel. Last month, with the reopening of our main church, we began offering 2 Masses in the church, 9 a.m. and 12 noon. The 9 a.m. Mass is live streamed for health and safety purposes. We presently are allowing 50 people to attend in person, while 700 people view the Mass online. Please note that to improve the reception, we are hoping to stream the video through YouTube. To do so requires 1,000 subscribed viewers. Presently, we have 730 subscribers. YouTube subscriptions are free. Please see our website for details on how to subscribe. Another liturgical improvisation is having Sunday evening Masses here at our beautiful columbarium. Weather permitting, we intend to have Sunday Masses here at least through the month of October. This Sunday, it will be at 5:30, and in October, due to the onset of darkness, our Sunday Masses here will be at 4:30. In the area of stewardship, we have improvised by establishing a special health and safety fund. Our development director, Rock Schuler, reports that thanks to the generosity of you, our Holy Trinity parishioners, we have completed our goals in the Health and Safety Fund by having raised more than $175,000, $25,000 more than our goal. Thank you very much for your generosity. These extra monies have enabled our facilities director, Dino Campagnari, to order a series of air filters, as well as to develop a UVC air purification system for our church, school, and parish offices. In addition, commercial-grade portable and purification units have also been ordered for various rooms. These and other devices will enhance the safety of our church and parish offices. We will continue to purchase cleaning materials and other products. These purchases have come at the recommendation of our Health and Safety Task Force. For several months, These 13 dedicated parishioners and staff have met regularly to help us improve ways by which we can reopen the church safely. Rock Schuler also reports that our annual pledges have hit an all-time high of $3.2 million. On the other hand, our parish revenue for the month of August was down 12%. I ask that you continue to offer your pledges either online or by check. Chris Kehoe, our finance director, reports that since March, when the pandemic forced us to stop many parish operations and begin to improvise, we have been able to reduce some expense areas, but others remain. This Tuesday, at the meeting of our Finance Committee, we will explore other ways of improvising our activities so as to reduce expenses. In the area of religious education, Judith Brousseau, our director, has improvised ways of teaching religious education by Zoom. She reports that to date, 450 of our children have registered for Sunday morning faith formation. While this is indeed a substantial number, it is more than 100 less than last year. Presently, we have 55 catechists and 21 substitutes ready to serve. We still need, however, more catechists at the second and third grade levels and a co-catechist for our fourth grade classroom. We welcome your consideration. Another improvisation is to have Tuesday evening masses for those children who have been waiting since last spring to receive their first Eucharist. Presently, we are allowing up to 8 children and their families at a time. To date, about 50 children have celebrated First Communion out of the 114 needing it. Similarly, for those youth who have waited since the spring to receive the sacrament of confirmation, we have confirmation masses on Wednesday evenings. Rebecca Herstory, our coordinator for youth ministry, reports that thus far, 39 out of 103 young men and women have received the sacrament of confirmation this year. Through the leadership of Martina O'Shea and Catherine Heinholz, our programs in Ignatian spirituality and prayer continue to be a resource and a source of Ignatian improvisation. Over this summer, a total of 75 people attended 2, quote, God, our refuge and our strength retreats, unquote, which were created specifically for the experience of living through the pandemic. This week, 19 people are taking part in the, quote, God's Abiding Love Retreat online, unquote. We are preparing for October's, quote, Speak the Truth in Love online retreat, unquote, for this election year. Praying in Sacred Space, meanwhile, meets regularly on Saturday afternoons and draws an average of 20 participants. Catherine Heinhold and Rebecca Horstery initiated an improvisational guided online prayer program titled, quote, Contemplating Justice, unquote, which focuses on racial injustice. 15 people attended the first session of this month's guided online prayer. Ashley Click, our Director of Social Justice, has been quite busy. This month, every Sunday from 4 to 5:30, Ashley and parishioner Mike Conway have begun to coordinate Sunday suppers for some 60 guests in front of our upper school. Ashley also reports that since March, parishioners have donated over 5,000 snack retreats for the organization called SOME, meaning so others might eat. In August, parishioners packed 9,000 meals in 2 hours for Catholic relief services. Other parishioners volunteered at Sanctuary DMV, Capital Area Food Bank, the Father McKenna Center, Hope and at Home, Catholic Charities, and Martha's Table. What's more, you have donated cereal for families, purchased phones for returning citizens, and knitted blankets for our friends at the border. We thank you for your engagement in these important endeavors. Furthermore, Ashley and her social justice team have improvised by starting programs such as Communities communities and women who stay. Communities, I should say. Communities, a noonday event, and the organization we've called Women Who Stay. These programs have enabled us to welcome over 500 attendees on topic of institutional racism, food insecurity, and women in the church. Next month, we will also be sharing details of our virtual Thanksgiving drive and giving tree. This past Wednesday evening, at the unanimous recommendation of the Parish Council, I have directed 2 signs to be made for our front of our church and the front of our chapel. One is a quote from Pope Francis, quote, "We cannot tolerate or turn a blind eye to racism and exclusion and in any form, and yet claim to defend the sacredness of every human life," unquote. While the other sign will read simply and yet profoundly, "Black Lives Matter." I've received the support of the Archdiocese of Washington, and I am in touch for other ways to support Archbishop Wilton Gregory's forceful decree that he made last month on the occasion of the anniversary of the 1963 Civil Rights March. In that decree, he established a task force to confront racism in the Archdiocese. To collaborate and improvise with these archdiocesan efforts, I have spoken with Dr. Ansel Augustine, the director of the Archdiocese Office of Cultural Diversity and Outreach. I should also mention our parish life has done amazing activities for many of our parishioners, working with Lisa Didmeyer and Helene Flanagan and a host of volunteers. They are making efforts to invigorate our life in the world of Zoom. In conclusion, on behalf of my fellow Jesuits and members of the staff, we are most grateful for the many ways you, the good and generous parishioners of Holy Trinity, are engaged in your faith and in parish life and activities. I should mention, we are privileged. You may have noticed the face and name of Father Tom Saminsky. We are fortunate to have Father Tom's energetic presence until January with us. Your generosity and patience, my fellow believers and Christians of goodwill, has been extraordinary. As we continue to navigate through this national and global crisis, we can be confident that the improvising spirit of our providential God is with us and supporting us to do things all that we can for God's greater glory. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.